This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Hi there, how are ya? Come on in. If you're looking for the latest ag news and features from Georgia, well then you have come to the right place. This is the Farm Monitor. Again, I am Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Burgamy. Lots of good stuff to tell you about today. Straight ahead, U.S. Secretary of Ag Tom Vilsack makes a special trip to Georgia. The purpose of his visit, as well as who and what it will benefit. It's that time of year again. Vidalia onions now shipping throughout the country and across the border. You'll hear from one producer on why this year's crop is looking really good, as well as the big event everyone is gearing up for.
And then later, the incredible, generous career of Georgia Farm Bureau President Tom McCall. His many contributions towards the Peach State and its people, as well as testimony from others as to why President McCall is now one of the latest members of the Georgia Agricultural Hall of Fame. These stories and so much more start right now. Some very good news for rural Georgia and beyond. And the people delivering that good news recently, U.S. Secretary of Ag Tom Vilsack and Georgia Congressman Sanford Bishop.
And right here at Radium Springs Garden, a $12.5 million natural resources conservation grant will help improve irrigation and water management so that the springs' water flow can better support our local agriculture and our entire ecosystem while providing improved water quality for all of us.
This announcement, part of the Building a Better America Rural Infrastructure Tour. It comes on the heels of the U.S. Department of Agriculture investing $420 million across 31 states, funded by President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. Georgia set to receive $69 million of that money, which according to Secretary Vilsack, will go towards 8 projects in 5 watersheds, including Radium Springs.
What a tremendous history lesson. The tremendous opportunity that's going to be opened up here. The fact that everybody's going to be able to enjoy this. And the fact that over time it will continue to improve and to continue to be a place that celebrates community.
Community also the focus at Steed's Dairy, site of this year's Georgia Farm Bureau Direct Marketing Agritourism Spring Meeting. Attendees part of the all-important Commodity Advisory Committee, including host and committee co-chair Jim Steed.
Well, it's great that we can get together at different farms and see what everybody has so we can get some ideas if we need some ideas. Plus the good thing about it is this is the face of agriculture, where people come out. We basically, are a farmer.
Yes, they are. And of course, the unofficial rite of spring here in Georgia is when the state's trademark onions are being dug, harvested, and shipped to stores nationwide.
And as our John Holcomb reports, this year's crop is shaping up to be a good one.
All over Vidalia onion country down in southeast Georgia, this is the scene as it's officially Vidalia onion season, which means growers, packers, and shippers are busy working to get the southern staple out of the fields and into the hands of consumers, a time growers and onion fans alike are no doubt excited to see.
We're excited always this time of year to get the Vidalia season officially off. It makes everything go good to know that you're doing all this work all winter for a purpose, and the customers reply on Facebook and everything. They like the onions. That always uplifts your spirits to see a good product and a good harvest worthwhile. So, but the official packing date is today, and there will be several loads out of not only our packing facility but all over the Vidalia onion region, go all over the country, and then some actually into Canada as well.
The plants, of course, go into the ground during the winter, and since then, growers have had quite the challenging time dealing with Mother Nature's twists and turns.
We had a very kind of warm December and January, and even some of February, and then that's been followed by some cooler weather. So the crop got off to a real good start. We were real blessed. It was a mild winter, which generally means that the stand is good. We don't have as many plants that die off during the winter. And so the plant stand has been real good. The past couple of weeks has been challenging with the freeze in the middle of March and heavy winds and some rainfall following that.
However, despite the challenges producers face during the growing season, Reiner says that so far, the crop is turning out to be a great one.
Our yields on the first half of the crop have looked really good. You know, the latter crop, we still got some time to see how they finish, and a lot of the weather will determine that. But we've been very blessed. The Lord's taken care of us on, providing us a good yield and good harvest weather. That always makes a big difference. Is even if you've got the yield, if harvest weather doesn't work out, you can lose that yield fast. And so we've been double blessed, and the sizing is good. Majority of our clientele want what we call a jumbo onion, and some colossal business. And so it's harder to grow those bigger onions, but we've tried to specialize in that for the customer base we have.
To further celebrate the Vidalia onion season, the Vidalia Onion Committee has once again partnered with the Kentucky Derby to create several dishes and recipes for racegoers, as well as for watch parties across the country.
Our whole goal is for not only for the people who attend, but the people who have host parties to watch the Kentucky Derby. It's a big deal for those hostesses and hosts to throw a party, and we want the premier onion, the Vidalia onion, to be served at those parties. So we have created a lot of recipes and ideas that they can use in that, and those will always be there. Their official chef has partnered with us and developed a lot of other things that can be used on other days of the year.
Reporting in Glenville for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
After the break, could this facility in Hall County influence the current state of Georgia agriculture as we know it? Plus, get out those cooking supplies and appetites. We're taking you inside the Georgia-grown kitchen for a dish that is kind of like potato salad, but features rice instead. Meals from the Field when the Farm Monitor continues. Despite being the #1 industry in the state, Georgia agriculture has struggled in recent years when it comes to attracting the younger generation into the field. It's an issue the new Agribusiness Center in Hall County is looking to alleviate, while also providing some relief to a distressed supply chain. Damon Jones shares the details from Gainesville.
Programs ranging from animal husbandry and genetics to honeybees can be found at the recently opened Agribusiness Center in Gainesville, where students are exposed to numerous career paths within the agricultural industry. And it's needed now more than ever to continue the driving economic force in Georgia.
We're aware that over half of the GDP of the state of Georgia is somehow related to agribusiness, and our information coming from our leaders in agribusiness was they're extremely concerned about the lack of young people choosing agribusiness as a future trade.
In order to interest more students to pursue a career in the ag sector, it's important to expose them to all the opportunities the industry has to offer through mentors and real-life experience.
To truly learn, you need to learn under an apprenticeship. Apprenticeship's the only way to really learn, get your hands on it and get dirty and learn from somebody that's been there and done that. I mean, every day's different out here. Some day you might have a cow loose or chickens loose and have to get them up, or a flood, you have to dig a ditch out, just no telling.
These varieties of experiences are made possible thanks to the overwhelming support from the community.
It has been absolutely incredible if you're able to take your camera, put it up on a drone and turn it around and start to see a tractor or a grain bin or a building or a cattle trailer. Almost all of it has been purchased by individuals or companies in the local community.
Now, if bees, beef, and chicken weren't enough, this Agribusiness Center is now set to break ground on a new beef processing facility in these fields right behind me. It'll mark just the third one in the U.S. on a K-12 learning farm.
You know, about 70% of our protein supply in this country comes from 3 multinationals, and we saw just how fragile that is with empty grocery store shelves over the last couple years. And so what we're hoping to do with the local meat processing plant is, number one, provide students another incredible career pathway, learning how to cut meat on the back end. Number two, for our local community, it will be a local protein supply that regardless of what the next surprise the world throws at us, we will have a local protein supply here in Hall County.
The students and community aren't the only people to benefit from this upcoming project, but also the local cattlemen, as they will see more money in their pockets due to the shortened supply chain.
You know, how much sense does it make to take a 600-pound steer in Georgia, send him to Nebraska to be finished, slaughter him, and then send the meat back to Kroger in metro Atlanta? We can take a lot of that money that's being lost in the middle and put it back in the hands of the local farmer. So we're just extremely excited on a number of fronts to have this opportunity.
It's a unique opportunity everyone should be excited about, as it helps secure a future for agriculture.
Just get them exposed to it. You have to take them out and let them actually touch an animal. You can look at a picture all day long until you see the Grand Canyon. It's just a picture. So you got to get out and see life and experience, and that's the only way you can do it.
Reporting from Hall County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
All right, well, very good news for you. Today we have all the food groups that you need. We've got good, great, delicious, and phenomenal. And what's the other one?
Easy.
Easy, I forgot that food group as well. Hey, welcome to another edition of Meals from the Field. Joining me as always, our dear friend and my good friend and everybody's good friend, Marcia Crowley. What is it, almost 10 years now and counting? It's just, time just keeps going on.
Unbelievable.
And we always have more fun. But yes, good to see you again,
You
Marcia.
too, Ray.
And, you know, some things are in season right now. Broccoli is in season, so.
Broccoli, who knew? Broccoli's in season spring and fall, so
Okay.
pretty much year-round in Georgia.
So I will let you get right into it because we got some really delicious recipe ideas for you today.
This is a chicken divan recipe, and this is a really old recipe. I've been making this forever. But it's basically broccoli and chicken with a cream sauce. So this is about 4 servings of broccoli, or just a single layer in an 8x8 baking dish.
Okay.
And that was fresh broccoli, and I steamed it just a little bit. Okay. You're going to add to that 4 servings of cooked chicken, and this is about 3 cups of cooked chicken, and they're in big chunks because you want to feel like you're getting some chicken in there. Let's see, and of course you can use leftover chicken with this, or a rotisserie chicken. I like to cook a lot of chicken ahead and put it in the freezer.
Well, we
for
did
stuff
say
like this.
easy, and rotisserie chicken is pretty easy.
Pretty easy, except for picking it. I do not like to pick a chicken. No, don't enjoy that at all. All right, that's the chicken over the broccoli. Then we're going to mix. This is a can of cream of chicken soup, which you know is a stretch for me, but there was no substitution for this. A little bit of salt and pepper, and 1/3 to 1/2 cup of milk. And that's going to make your nice little cream sauce. And you could use cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of anything.
Okay.
I have a brother-in-law that said he didn't like Southern cooking because it has cream of mushroom soup in everything. I said, well, if he was a true Southerner, it could be cream of chicken or cream of celery or cream of potato, or
That is
he
true.
just doesn't know what he's missing. All right, you're going to pour this over the top of this. Like I said, this is super easy, and it's so good, and a really old recipe at that.
And just mix that in. Do you leave the chicken sitting on top of it?
Yeah, you kind of put the sauce over that, kind of spread it around the best you can. I'm going to add the rest of this milk on there. It should really cover it, but it's going to bubble and all that good stuff. All right, then you're going to add about 1/2 cup of cheese, 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. Here again, you could use any kind of cheese you want. Shredded, already shredded, of course. And Ritz crackers, or any kind of crackers will work. Kind of spread that out a little better. You're going to bake this for 30 minutes until it's done, until it's bubbling. 350, 30 minutes. Now, how easy can that be?
That's extremely easy.
It's extremely easy.
There you see the finished product of that, what it looks
It's
like
very
when you serve it
good.
to your guests.
All right, this is a rice salad, which is inexpensive, easy, and delicious.
Rice salad.
Yes, this is 4 cups of cooked rice, and this is a little bit of brown rice and a little bit of white rice, but you could use wild rice. Yellow rice probably would be pretty good too, so whatever you have already cooked, 4 cups. You're going to add to that a 1/2 cup of sweet relish, a 1/2 cup of chopped onion and chopped celery, and I'm using red onion for color, but you could use Vidalia, of course.
Which are now in season.
They are in season now. A 1/2 cup, a 1/4 cup of chopped red pimentos. I don't know of any other color. Here we go with the colors again, right? 2 hard-cooked eggs. And this was a hit, believe me. This is a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise and 4 tablespoons of pickle juice, which we talked about earlier. Why don't they just make pickle juice? Because it's so good in everything.
Okay, so now I get it. It's not true like lettuce and salad in there. It's kind of a cornucopia and buffet.
Well, yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, it's very refreshing and good. It's almost like potato salad, but with rice.
Okay.
Which is much easier to me.
That's why I
salads.
looked at you so strange when you said rice salad.
Oh, well, you always look at me strange, right? So, all right, just going to mix that up.
That actually works both ways, by the way.
I know that. I have been told that before. See, if you look at people strangely, they don't really know what you're thinking, do they? All right, just stir that up really good and refrigerate it before serving. And then we have a blueberry pie, which blueberries are in season, and Georgia is the #1 blueberry state. This is 2 cups of blueberries that have been dredged with about a tablespoon of flour, and that'll keep them from like popping.
Okay.
In a pie crust, homemade or store-bought, but you know what this is.
That's the powdery substance on top.
That's flour,
Right,
yes.
okay.
No, you know this is a store-bought pie crust. You know
I thought maybe it was powdered sugar on top.
or
so
something,
it's
whatever.
flour.
Yeah, it's flour.
Okay.
And this is about a 1/2 cup of sugar. Just put that on top of this. And you could really almost go 3 cups of blueberries with this if you wanted to. Dot it with butter. Then you're going to put the top crust on and bake it at 425 for about 30 minutes till it starts to brown on top. And
It's ready.
That's perfect timing. It's ready to put in the oven.
How about that for timing?
That's perfect timing, Ray. And that's it.
That is
like I
it.
said, these are really good spring recipes, and you'll like them.
And let's take a look at the final products. Everything there. Of course, Marcia pre-cooks all this stuff before we get here, and once you walk into this place, it smells absolutely phenomenal. Of course, you can make all these recipes at home yourself by logging on to farm-monitor.com. Everything there for you, listed ingredients by ingredients, step by step, very easy to follow. Again, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So, Marcia, as always, good to see you.
Thank you, Ray.
Good to see you. Stay safe, and you
too.
stay safe as well, and we will see you next month.
When we come back, Georgia Farm Bureau President Tom McCall and the many reasons why he's now a member of the Georgia Agricultural Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's my distinct pleasure and honor today to stand before you to recognize someone that I believe everybody in this House has admired and respected, and that is Tom McCall.
And just his complete and total passion for our industry, whether it's poultry growers in northeast Georgia, or peanut farmers in southwest Georgia, or timber folks in southeast Georgia. Tom understood all of those industries.
His background from ABAC and University of Georgia and his own farm, made him a perfect person for chairman of the Ag Committee, but it also made him a perfect person for president of the Farm Bureau. And if you had an ag bill, Tom McCall was the first name you wanted on the bill, because you knew if he believed in it and introduced it that he wouldn't pass it.
The entire time that he was in the Georgia General Assembly serving as House Agriculture Chairman, he was also farming full-time. So he knows better than anyone firsthand what the farmers in our state need, and there was no better advocate for the state of Georgia than Tom McCall.
Tom looks at everybody as a person. He doesn't judge people.
It don't matter who you are, if you're a governor or United States Senator or Joe Blow that is digging a ditch on the side of the road. He treats everybody the same way.
He is truly one of the most humble and giving people that I think I've ever come in contact with.
I've heard people say that if all the people in the legislature was like him, that there wouldn't be any problems up there.
I don't know anyone who is more dedicated to remembering in this body the people that we represent back home and making sure in everything we do, in every piece of legislation we pass, that we always would ask how it affects them in their everyday lives.
Being in the legislature never was on my little list of stuff to do. People in this area allowed me to be there for 26 years.
Over the last 26 years, any piece of legislation related to Georgia agriculture has come through his House Agriculture Committee, and he has in some way, shape, or form helped form that policy.
One of the things that Tom and I have had several conversations about over the years, it's not necessarily what you pass or what you shepherd through the General Assembly, but a lot of times the most important role is the things that you keep from becoming law. Tom's kind demeanor and people knowing that he truly cares about folks was what many times took the edge off of some very contentious issues.
We all know that Tom will absolutely, positively hate the fact that I'm doing this. He is going to hate the fact that I've got a privilege resolution that will be approved today in his honor. But I think that I have never known a man more humble who had no reason in the world to be humble whatsoever.
He's one of those that just does not take credit for the things that he has accomplished. Everyone that knows Tom McCall knows that he is beyond worthy of this recognition. I think everyone knows it except for Tom himself.
If you started making a list of people with great emphasis on agriculture and agribusiness in Georgia, they would be somewhat equal level with Tom McCall, but none above and superior.
Even in the worst of times, agriculture tends to do very well in our state. A lot of that credit for that resiliency and that strength in that industry go to Tom's steady hand and being a shepherd for this industry.
As successful as Tom McCall has been in his public service career, he and anyone that knows him would tell you that his greatest achievement is truly his family, and they are his biggest joy and his greatest blessing.
Most everyone listening to this video can say that they've heard him say is to never forget where you come from. What he means by that is to always stay humble and be proud of where you come from, no matter what successes, no matter where your life takes you.
I hope my legacy with agriculture will be that I always looked after the best interest of farmers. And I hope over that whole time we did some good for farmers in this state and agribusinesses.
Well, I think his legacy is leaving a better place for his grandkids, helping people that are involved in agriculture have a little bit more representation where it matters.
One word, just one. Legend. Enough said. Hey, thanks so much for making this show possible.
Yeah, that music is our cue. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Stay safe and have a great week.